Hey, thanks for joining us today. We have a wonderful guest named Dunn. And Doug and I are going to process a little bit what are the success factors when you are giving second chances to women who have experienced extreme trauma, perhaps coming out of prison, abuse, addiction, and all the things. What are the actual success factors? You're going to love this. Hi, I'm Natalie Huschek, and we are filming another episode of Turning Trauma into Triumph. We're here at Well Grounded Coffee, where we hire women out of addiction, prison, homelessness, wherever someone needs a second chance. And I am happy to introduce my good friend, Doug Dunn, and we have known each other a few years. I'm going to say at least 5 years.
I think that's about right.
Yeah, because we kind of met right as we were getting started. You were at Exodus Ministries, and you were just transitioning out.
Right.
And you introduced me to Natasha, who was our very first barista. Thank you for that introduction.
You're
One of the
very
best
welcome.
human beings on the planet.
You're very welcome.
And we podcasted Natasha on our first episode of this season. And man, she is just crushing life.
She's doing exceedingly well.
Yeah, thanks to some of that work that you've done.
Well, I don't know about that, but she's doing very well.
She's doing really well. Yeah. And so, did you grow up in Dallas?
No. By the time I was 21, I'd moved 16 times.
Whoa. Military?
My dad was in the military.
Okay.
And he had isolated tours in Africa, Turkey, and Greece, and we didn't go with him. So we moved to Alabama, where my family is from.
Okay.
Far southeast Alabama. You can probably tell from my accent.
Okay.
Maybe not. And we lived in Washington, D.C. 3 times, and
Did you like that?
Massachusetts.
Did you like Washington, D.C.?
It was interesting. I was just a little kid, but I remember as a little kid.
That was a party foul, by the way. All phones off.
I was just a kid, but I remember the streetcars that were in downtown Washington, D.C. at that time.
Yeah.
They're not there anymore.
Okay.
But it's a safer
So
place.
you're dating yourself by confessing that.
Well, that was back in the 50s.
Okay.
Yeah, I was born in 1960, but I was in Washington in the 50s.
Okay.
So you figure the math out. If it works for you, it works for me.
So you moved all over the place. Wow. Yeah. Okay. So you knew how to build brand new relationships, let go of old relationships, and.
I was actually best at letting go of old relationships. I wasn't all that good at building new relationships.
New ones.
Yeah.
It becomes awkward, doesn't it?
Well, it becomes traumatic over time. You know, when you move someplace that in a year or a year and a half, you're going to have to let that go.
Yeah.
And then you go someplace else where you don't know anyone.
And you're kind of unwilling to get in there too deep, aren't you? To put your roots in.
I developed a really polished version of dropping the curtain, where I could move on and never look back.
Wow.
That's not healthy, but that's how it worked, and that's what got me through life.
We survived, don't we? Learn to survive. We learn the coping mechanisms
Absolutely.
that we need to, and then sometimes we realize they're not healthy, and we need to shift those. I know for me that's true in that some of the trauma I've experienced has caused me to just numb. And that was good in certain circumstances. And now when there's something that I need to grieve, I have to be super intentional about it because my first emotion is just like numb.
Yeah.
That I'm like, okay, you need to grieve that actually and move through the discomfort of all those feelings.
Yep. You're right.
Yeah. And so you got to Dallas when? And how?
We moved to Dallas in August of 1974. I graduated from the University of Missouri in May of 1974.
Okay.
Came here to go to school. Did that for 3 years, and then had my own business for 27 years following.
As a lawyer?
As a lawyer.
Okay. And remind me the kind of law that you practice, because...
A little bit of everything, but the principal thrust of what I did was I probably handled I don't know the number, but probably between 1,000 and 1,500 child welfare cases.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Where I represented moms and dads, but a lot of kids as the guardian ad litem. Back in those days, it was a completely different world than it is today. But I represented a lot of kids and loved the kids, loved the moms, loved the dads.
Do you think you got to a point where you're like, okay, I'd like to be a little more instrumental in make a shift to something that you felt like could be more powerful or more purposeful than that?
Yeah,
or?
but it didn't come in the form of opening a nonprofit. I actually was appointed truancy court judge in Dallas County, and I did that for 5 years.
And you felt that that was more purposeful?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Because I could make an impression on kids, school-age kids, at a time when they really couldn't argue with me because, as you know, the one with the long black dress makes the rules. And because I was the judge, I had the long black dress. So I got to make the rules. And they couldn't argue with me about that.
And that gavel, bam.
Yeah, all of that's true. And it was a time when I could make an impression on some kids. And I think we did some good work. We didn't make an impact on all of them by any stretch of the imagination, but there were some that I have memories of and fond memories of that were impacted in significant ways.
Right.
So that was all a good thing.
Yeah, I did a lot of case management out of college because my degree was actually art therapy. So enough psychology that I easily could become a case manager. And so I did that until I realized I wanted to do something a little more impactful. And actually, the next thing I did was to become a foster mom. And so we started fostering, and then we ended up adopting 4 boys who were brothers. But I think you get into that work, and to have longevity, you need to shift, don't you? Or you can get really burnt out.
Yeah, and I was at that point when I became a truancy court judge. I was appointed. It was a political appointment. And at that time, I had come to what one would typically call the end of the rope because I got 5 cases on one day. All of those cases needed to be tried within the next 3 months, and I already had probably 75 cases. So it was a good time for me to depart that life and become a truancy court judge, and I did that for 5 years, and then it was time to move on.
Okay.
Had no idea what I was going to do. Didn't really have any aspirations to be anything other than what I had been as a lawyer. But as it turns out, I took a 1.5 year sabbatical.
Oh.
That was really nice. I made lots of really good meals for my wife.
Very nice.
And she rused the day that I found a job after that.
She was just happy with you staying home. And so backing up, where did you meet and when did you marry your wife?
We met at a place called Angeles City in the Philippines.
Oh.
My dad was stationed at Clark, and her dad was stationed at Clark. Her dad was a survivor of the Bataan Death March. He's a Filipino. My mother-in-law was Filipino as well. And my wife has 10 brothers and sisters. We met in high school. We ran on the same ticket for student council. I was the treasurer, and she was the secretary-to-be.
So are you same age?
Actually, I'd rather not talk about her age. She really doesn't like it when I say that she's older than me by a little bit.
You are very wise.
We are. She was a year ahead of me in school.
Same grade, I should.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Go on. Carry on. That stopped us, didn't it?
I think I've probably dug the hole about as deep as I need to.
Okay. Deep breath, and let's see.
And we dated for a 1.5 years when we were in the Philippines in high school. And then she went off to college the same summer that I went back to Illinois, where I finished high school.
Okay.
She went to Cleveland to start college. She started nursing school.
Okay.
And finished nursing school 4 years later. Her dad said, "Why do you want to go to nursing school? You're just going to get married." And she said, "No, I'm not." And she
I will have a career.
She said, "I'm going to graduate from college," and she did.
Good.
On the 19th of May, 1973. And on the 20th of May, the next day, We got married.
Nice. Graduation one day, wedding
right.
the next.
And then the day after that, we moved back to Columbia, or I moved back to Columbia, and she came with me so I could finish my last year of school.
Okay.
We were there for a year and then came down to Dallas.
And had two beautiful children, a boy and a girl.
Yep.
Or a girl first and a boy.
A girl and then a boy. That's right.
And then you said you came to Dallas?
We came to Dallas after University of Missouri, so I could go to school.
That's not Mizzou.
It is.
My husband graduated from Mizzou.
Did he?
You'll have to have that conversation with him.
Oh my goodness. I know somebody else who actually graduated from Mizzou, and his son went to SMU Law School, just as I did. So we have that connection. So there aren't a lot of Tigers down here.
No, and since you won't talk about your wife's age, I guess I shouldn't talk about my husband's age and what years he was at Mizzou, but he's a big fan.
Yeah, well, I had to go to football games when I was at the Air Force Academy. I went there for 2 years and then transferred to Missouri. And so I'm not a big fan of going to football games. No. When you have to go, it's just not a lot of fun.
All right. Well, very good. And so here you are in Dallas. And let's catch up to where you were. You're a judge.
I was,
And then you shifted from that for 5 years, you said, and then what made that next shift? Or sabbatical after that?
The sabbatical.
Okay.
Well.
And was your wife nursing?
She was.
Yeah.
But not bedside nursing at that time. She was a bedside nurse for 17 years. And then she became a quality assurance coordinator at what was St. Paul, which is no longer there.
Okay.
And then she became a risk manager for a group of physicians that has about 4,000 physicians, an emergency room physicians group. And then she went to work for Baylor, and she worked at Baylor for 10 years.
Nice.
And retired about 8 years ago.
Cool.
And she said, "You may not come home."
You may not.
No, I wanted to do something.
So then you were offered something at Exodus.
I
Director.
I was the director of development.
Development.
Had no idea what I was doing. Didn't know my left foot from my shoe.
I think that's some of the fun. Like around here, I didn't know what I was doing. We figured everything out together.
Oh, I'm still figuring out what I was doing at Exodus.
You are.
Which was 5 years ago.
Well, you did a lot of good, I personally know.
I hope so. I hope we did.
All right, Mr. Doug, as we affectionately call him at the coffee house. So from lawyer to judge to lifting women out of darkness. Be sure to subscribe so you can catch every podcast. And we want to give you a save the date for our second ever gala. There you'll see the website, wggala26.givesmart.com. So now you're working at Exodus at this point in your life, and that's where we connected.
Right.
And so both of our hearts have been, and our lives have been, lifting women out of darkness. And so that's where we met. We have, and still do, love many of the same people, and been on their teams.
That's right.
Throughout, because we became a hiring partner for Exodus. So first Natasha, as I mentioned, who's on one of our podcasts, Angela, who is also on a podcast, and Jessica, Hannah,
of course.
Who else? Maricela,
Espinosa,
Olympia,
and
so most of those women that I just mentioned are just crushing life. They're doing great. They were given a second chance, someone to believe in them, essentially, and to journey with them, a safe place to heal from a lot of that trauma. Some of them didn't. Yeah, it's heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And I know here we talk about 3 success factors. The women who I've watched succeed are humble. They are held accountable, so they're not isolating. They understand the value of accountability, and they have a servant's heart. So I tell them all, those are the 3 things that will cause you to succeed: humility, accountability, and a service-minded heart. Because they're in a survival mode and they're taking in resources, people are helping. But if a shift doesn't occur and they don't start helping the next person, What I say is they get spiritual gangrene because you can't just keep taking in and not pouring out.
I agree.
What would you say, now you have Mercy Shores, your very own nonprofit, where you're doing similar work, but you're doing it, based on what you saw work and maybe what didn't work. What would you say are the success factors for the women that you support?
Let me see if I can come up with some humility.
Right.
A servant's heart.
Yeah.
What was it?
Accountability.
Accountability.
It's that isolation. It
Yeah.
can take you down.
Yeah. We
And
have,
it does.
Our mission statement is pretty simple. We serve children by returning them to a relationship with their mothers,
Okay.
by providing a safe place for them to live so they don't have to worry about waking up under a bridge tomorrow or in the back seat of an abandoned car or wherever it might be. Trauma-informed services. As you know, all these women have been traumatized.
Yes.
The reality is we've all been traumatized to one degree or another. Many not in the same way as the women have been here.
Right.
And at Mercy Shore, accountability. They have to be accountable.
Yeah.
Everyone is accountable.
Yeah.
They don't always
way or
realize that or appreciate that.
I mean, prison is forced accountability.
Exactly.
But then you go into a program and it's a lesser amount, but it's still, you need it. And then at some point, when you start moving out toward independence, you have to be wise and mature enough to recognize that you have to find your own accountability.
That's exactly right.
I mean, you and I do this.
Right.
But we've never experienced prison. So there's kind of that pushback,
Right.
like everyone's been controlling me, I just want to be alone, left alone, don't bother me. Well, that isolation will.
Does not work. And the last component of our mission statement is grace.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to make mistakes. One of the first things we tell our ladies when they get there is, we are just like you. We put our pants on the same way you do, and we make mistakes. All we ask is that you give us the grace to make that mistake, and we'll give you grace to help you fix the mistakes that you're going to make. And you will certainly make mistakes, but that's okay. We don't learn from success, we learn from failure.
We really do.
Mistakes.
I agree. And I think it's so critical that we link arms and journey with, not reaching down as if I'm up here and you're down here. I read a great book called When Helping Hurts, and it really cemented that in my mind.
Yep.
When you're just thinking you're up here and you're thinking you're helping someone down there, it's very hurtful and harmful. It's like you said, we all make mistakes. I do this work because I've experienced my own trauma, and I'm building a sisterhood where we walk together and journey, and we're learning together. We're learning about our traumatized brains and how they can be healed, and why we do the things we do, like bad habits or patterns that actually are, like we mentioned earlier, they're coping skills at one point in your life, but when you're in prison, it's each man for himself, it's survival. Well, you learn to not trust anyone, right?
That's right.
So maybe that served you then, but now we're in a sisterhood and we have to begin to learn to trust, it's just relearning a lot of it.
Yeah. This may not really fit in here, but I think that Ronald Reagan said it best. We have to trust, but verify.
Trust, but verify. Okay.
Because just because someone tells you something is true and it sounds good doesn't mean it's necessarily true. So you have to verify that. And it's a process. It's not an event where you learn to trust people. It's a process. It takes time.
Yeah.
And you have to be willing to take that time.
Yeah.
To earn that trust and to gain that trust.
You really do. And you have to find safe people that actually are trustworthy.
That's right.
Boundaries and learning all that. So I know that your women are journeying like that, like mine are.
Yep. One of the things that we, one of the things that we want to make sure that the women recognize, whether they stay 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, or 2 years in our program, and that is this, that we love them
Yeah.
like there's no tomorrow. We want them to be able to say when years roll by, reminiscing about Mercy Shore, those people loved us exceptionally well.
Yes.
And that's what we try to do. We try to love them. We set rules. We enforce the rules. We have boundaries. We show them grace, but they are accountable.
Yeah.
Not just to us.
Yeah.
They're accountable to God.
Yeah, for sure. And we try to continue relationships. I mean, that's easy with Angela and Natasha. But I have one barista who's currently in jail in Denton County. I have another who's on the streets on crack cocaine. So I wish everyone had a success story. But even when they don't, their story's not over. And we always try to stay in connection with them, texting, visiting. I'm doing video calls with one of my baristas who's in jail now. I think to keep that connection, so that when they're ready again, they have safe people.
And it's to reinforce the fact that they're loved by somebody
Yep.
who a couple of years ago didn't even know who they were,
Right?
or that they were anywhere on the face of the earth.
Yeah.
That is an encouraging thing, not
100%.
always at the moment, but on reflection.
Yeah. I love the work you're doing. So tell us Mercy Shore, and tell us how we can support you.
Well, Mercy Shore is younger than Well-Grounded Coffee. And as a young ministry, exposure is a big deal.
Yeah.
Your daughter exposes you because she knows 1,000 people in the nonprofit world, and that's really where we are.
Yeah.
I talk to a lot of people just as you do, and whenever I talk to them for the first time, I ask them to answer two questions. Excuse me. The first question is, are you a person of faith? They almost always say yes. I try not to ask that question if I don't know for sure.
Yeah.
Are you a person of prayer? And if they answer both of those questions, they're qualified to move on to the second round.
Okay.
The second round is, can I get a commitment from you? And they're always saying, how much money, how much money? But it's not a money question. Can I get a commitment from you that you will pray for the staff, the volunteers, and the board, that we would receive God's wisdom? Because our wisdom is wholly insufficient to answer the questions and face the issues that we're faced with. And they almost always say, well, yeah, of course. The second question I ask them is, will you pray for Mercy Shore, the organization, and the folks we serve, that they would seek in their everyday life to glorify God in everything they do? Would you commit to that? They almost always say yes. And the third question is, would you commit to praying for those people, not confronting them, not even approaching them, but praying for those people who, like you, until last week maybe, didn't even know there was a Mercy Shore, that they would come to know who we are, and that they might join us in this vigil of prayer for the board and the volunteers and the staff. And
because for you, you have your little place, and it needs to be private and safe. But for us, people drive by and we serve them coffee, so our visibility is out there. It's easy for people to learn about us. But for you, unless someone tells them or they see something, so we want to definitely be pointing. You serve moms specifically out of prison.
Moms with children between 0 and 12 years of age. They have to have a child. They have to have been incarcerated. We define incarceration in a very liberal way. If you've had your liberty taken from you for any period of time by an authority, you've been incarcerated. That works for me. I have a lady coming in who actually, she wasn't qualified to enter our program, but I found out that she'd been to municipal court and gone to municipal jail, and that qualifies her. And we're hoping to interview her tomorrow, and we'll see what happens.
That's great. That's great. And they get to stay with you for at least a year.
We don't even really set a limit.
Yeah.
We say that it's designed for 9 to 18 months.
Yeah.
Very few people will complete overcoming the trauma that they've experienced in 9 months.
I agree.
18 months is a stretch for them, but we'll keep them as long as we need to.
Yeah.
If they're making progress toward an articulated goal that will put them in a position where they can have a livable wage, have a relationship with Jesus, and take care of themselves and their families.
Yes. And you focus a lot on education, correct?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah. Whether it's education in an academic setting or education in a vocational setting, it's not really particularly material to us. We want to get them to the point where they can earn a livable wage.
Yes,
Without
which is
that,
very challenging here in
yeah,
Dallas.
without that, where did they end up?
Right.
Where they came from.
Yeah,
And that's not good.
yeah. So you have 4 apartments
We do.
available. Do you have a goal of obtaining more?
We do. Our aspiration is to have a building that would have 15 to 20 units. We'd have 10 or 12 or maybe 14 families, have some common areas. That's not looking like it's in the cards next week or the week after. We're hopeful that it will happen in God's timing, as it will, if He determines that that's what we need to do in order to serve Him and His people best, then it will happen.
Yeah.
And there's
it
nothing we
needs
can
to,
do about
yeah.
that.
We're right where you're at, just always looking for housing options, because when we hire our women, they're in an apartment usually, in a program, but when that comes to an end, moving from a safe, affordable, supportive community out into Dallas is a little crazy. It's a moment that they're fragile to relapse.
Absolutely.
So housing is huge on our goal list, and same as you. I know it's out there, and when the right timing's there, it'll come.
Absolutely. We have no question about that. We trust Him.
Yeah.
He is faithful.
Amen.
He is good.
Yes.
Always.
Every time. And so, if you had an audience, and today you do, 5 minutes on a stage in front of 5,000 people, right? What is your greatest message you want to put out there?
We all make mistakes. The moms have made some pretty bad mistakes, some bad choices, but the kids didn't.
Right.
We can't punish the kids for what the moms have done.
Yeah.
We can't punish the moms for their bad mistakes because it flows downhill and the kids end up being the recipients of all of that. So what we have to do is what Jesus did. Forgive.
Yes.
Show grace. Embrace their mistakes and recognize that but for God's grace, that could be you.
Yeah. And those moms were someone's kids at one time.
Loved dearly by their moms and their dads and their sisters and their aunts and their uncles and grandma and grandpa, and they got off track.
Yeah.
And now we want to help them get back on track. We can't do it for them.
Right.
We offer opportunities.
Yeah.
They have to do the hard work.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for joining us today, and just thank you for the great work that you are doing at Mercy Shores.
Thank you.
Thanks for
having me.
joining us. All right, well, there you have it. 3 success factors: humility, accountability, and a heart for service. Thanks for joining us today on Turning Trauma into Triumph.